Well, hi there. I'm Michael Hausum of the Hausum Group at Vista Pacific Realty. So this is the Orange County Residential Real Estate Marketplace Update for the week ending July 20th. So when taking the temperature of the real estate market, you look at two things. Number one is you look at demand. And by demand, we simply mean the number of homes that have gone into escrow over the last 30 days. And then supply, of course, is the number of listings that are on the market and the change in that number. And what we've seen over the last 4 weeks is pretty interesting. There has been an 8% drop in the amount of demand. There has been a 0.5% drop in the amount of listings. So right now in Orange County, for the first time since February, overall, it's a balanced market. That is the highest this number has been since February, and it's 12 points higher than it was last year this time. Expected time on market right now in Orange County is 92 days, whereas last year it was 80. So let's take a look and compare the last few years. This here shows the demand comparison between this year and the previous three. Note that the year-to-date numbers are almost exactly the same as last year's. Year-to-date's in brown and last year's in green. And there's a significant gap between the last 2 years in 2016 and 2017. Now those demand numbers are all the homes in escrow across the county. So let's break it down a little bit by price, and it tells a slightly different story than the overall balance numbers. Under $1 million is still a seller's market, and it's where both Under $1 million is still a seller's market, and that's where the bulk of the action is. 58% of the inventory in the county is under $1 million, and 77% of the demand is under $1 million. Between $1 million and $1.25 million is a balanced market. Now above $1.25 million, it's a buyer's market, becoming weaker and weaker for sellers the higher and higher you go up in price. Now on the supply side, there's been a slight decrease, 0.5% in the number of listings. So let's take a look at what that has done to expected time on market. This graph again shows the last 3 years plus year to date. In the last 2 weeks, inventory has slid 0.5%. It's still 15% higher, however, than it was last year this time. There are that many more homes on the market. And it's the highest inventory levels we've seen in the last 8 years. Now, this is really important. Notice how the green line, which was last year, kept on increasing well into the mid-fall. Whereas if you look at 2016 and 2017, inventory levels there started dropping in mid to late summer. We're going to be carefully watching to see how this year's numbers compared to what happened to last year versus the previous two. Now let's take a look and drill down into a few specific cities. All of the stuff I've talked about before, demand, supply, expected time on market, that's for the county as a whole. But as you know, nobody actually buys into the county as a whole. They buy into specific neighborhoods and specific cities. Now, I'm going to mention 4 different cities here. If you'd like more information or different information about another city, please let me know. I have all of this data, and frankly, even more data on every single city. In the city of Costa Mesa, over the last 2 weeks, there's been a big jump to a balanced market with 109 days expected marketing time. 2 weeks ago, it was at 84 days. 4 weeks ago, it was at 72 days, which was about the same as last year as 73 days expected time on market. In Costa Mesa, over the last month, homes have been selling for 98.4% of their asking price. Now in Huntington Beach, there hasn't been much of a change. It's a seller's market. Expected marketing time is 81 days, which is a slight jump from 77 2 weeks ago, which was a little bit up from 74 days 4 weeks ago, and about the same as the 72 days that it was last year. Homes in Huntington Beach are selling at 98.3% of their asking price. Now, down south in Ladera Ranch, there was a slight uptick, but it's still a seller's market at 74 days expected marketing time, up 9 from 2 weeks ago at 65 days, which was down 11 from 76 4 weeks ago. A year ago in Ladera, expected marketing time was at 70 days. Right now in Ladera Ranch, homes are selling for 98.9% of their asking price. Slightly north of that in Lake Forest, it jumped to a very strong seller's market. 48 days expected marketing time. 2 weeks ago, it was at 54 days, and 2 weeks before that, it was at 62 days. A year ago in Lake Forest, it was 67 days expected marketing time. Right now, it is a stronger seller market in Lake Forest than at any time over the last year, which is why homes are selling there for 99.2% of their asking price. Now, back up in Newport Beach, as usual, it's a buyer's market. Right now, 174 days expected marketing time in Newport, which was down a few ticks from 188 days 2 weeks ago and 184 days 2 weeks before that. Last year, it was slightly weaker in Newport Beach than it is right now, with 183 days expected marketing time. Homes in Newport Beach are selling at 96% of their asking price. Lastly, just a few days ago, I put up a video right here on my site about contingencies for buyers. Very helpful information about how to use the tools in the purchase contract relating to inspections and the other contingencies to help save you money, help you get into a contract in a stronger manner, or, if need be, how to get out of a contract. If you've got further questions, or you'd like to talk to me about my 5 strategies to help buyers negotiate on the purchase of a home, or the 9 strategies that sellers can use to sell their homes above market price, please contact me. My number is 949-413-2371, or you can also email me, michael@housemgroup.com. Thank you so much, and have a great day.